How long will the dollar last as the world's reserve currency? The BRICS countries have been pursuing a wide range of initiatives to decrease their dependence on the US dollar, raising the question of how long the dollar will last as the world's default currency. Could a new currency, be set to challenge the dominance of the dollar? Perhaps, but that may not be the point. Chinese President Xi Jinping at the 14th BRICS Summit via video link in Beijing, capital of China, June 23, 2022. In August 2023, South Africa will host the leaders of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, a group of nations known as by the acronym BRICS. Among the items on the agenda is the creation of a new joint BRICS currency. As a scholar who has studied the BRICS countries for over a decade, I can certainly see why talks of a BRICS currency is gaining currency. The BRICS summit comes as countries across the world are confronting a changing geopolitical landscape that's challenging the traditional dominance of the West. And while the BRICS countries have been seeking to reduce their reliance on the US dollar for over a decade, Western sanctions on Russia after its invasion of Ukraine have accelerated the process. Meanwhile, rising interest rates and the recent debt ceiling crisis in the United States have raised concerns among other countries about their dollar-dominated debt and the demise of the dollar should the world's leading economy ever default. That all said, a new BRICS currency faces major hurdles before becoming a reality, but what currency discussions do show is that the BRICS countries are seeking to discover and develop new ideas about how to shake up international affairs and effectively coordinate policies around these ideas. De-dollarization momentum. With 88% of the international transactions conducted in US dollars, and the dollar accounting for 58% of global foreign exchange reserves, the dollar's global dominance is indisputable, yet de-dollarization, or reducing an economy's reliance on the US dollar for international trade and finance, has been accelerating following the Russian invasion of Ukraine. The BRICS countries have been pursuing a wide range of initiatives to decrease their dependence on the dollar. Over the past year, Russia, China, and Brazil have turned to greater use of non-dollar currencies in their cross-border transactions. Iraq, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates are actively exploring dollar alternatives, and central banks have sought to shift more of their currency reserves away from the dollar and into gold. All the BRICS nations have been critical of the dollar's dominance for different reasons. Russia officials have been championing de-dollarization to ease the pain from sanctions, and because of sanctions, Russian banks have been unable to use SWIFT, the global messaging system that enables bank transactions, and the West froze Russia's $330 billion in reserves last year. Meanwhile, the 2022 election in Brazil reinstated Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva as president. Lula is a longtime proponent of BRICS, who previously sought to reduce Brazil's dependence on and vulnerability to the dollar. He has re-energized the group's commitment to de-dollarization and spoken about creating a new euro-like currency. The Chinese government has also clearly laid out its concerns with the dollar's dominance, labeling it the main source of instability and uncertainty in the world economy. Beijing directly blamed the Fed's interest rate hike for causing turmoil in the international financial market and substantial depreciation of other currencies. Together with the BRICS countries, China has also criticized the usage of sanctions as a geopolitical weapon. The appeal of de-dollarization and a possible BRICS currency would be to mitigate such problems. Experts in the U.S. are deeply divided on its prospects. U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen believes the dollar will remain dominant as most countries have no alternative, yet a former White House economist sees the way that a BRICS currency could end dollar dominance. and this is on Great Game India. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support, and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.